What's up everybody, Tony here with iTechCheck, and today we're going to be testing a ton of different screen protectors for the brand new Galaxy S21 Ultra. Now I will be putting a link in the description for all of these screen protectors in case you guys want to check them out yourself. And if you guys like me and you want to support my channel, please use those links because it helps me keep purchasing products to do reviews for you guys. I'm also going to be putting timestamps for each one of these protectors because this is going to be a lengthy video. I'm dedicated to doing this for you guys because I want to save everyone the time and the money by showing everyone which screen protectors are good and which ones to stay away from, because I know how frustrating it is to try to find a good screen protector out there that works well with the in-display fingerprint sensor and actually stays on your phone. All I'm asking is please show me that you care that I'm doing this for you by hitting that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. So first off, I'm going to start with the film screen protectors. Then we're going to move on to the glass screen protectors that don't use any liquid adhesive. Then finally, we're going to move on to the glass screen protectors that do use adhesive because it's probably going to be pretty messy and I want to leave these for last. I also listened to a lot of your feedback from the last Galaxy Note 20 Ultra screen protector video I did, and I will be testing the S Pen on all of these screen protectors as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So before we begin, I just want to tell you that there are a couple things that I'm going to do before every screen installation so I can save you some time. One is clean the screen off completely with the alcohol wipe and make sure it's dry before putting on the screen protector. Then I'm also going to use the dust stickers to take off all the dust. That's a given. We don't need to show that in the video anymore, so let's get started. Okay, so our first screen protector is film and it's made by Supershieldz. Here we get a little squeegee. We get our screen protectors, looks like we get 2 of them, our guide stickers, and a couple wipes. I don't see any alcohol preps, which is kind of weird. So for this one, you're going to have to use your own. So now that the screen's all clean, all you want to do is peel off the very top of the screen protector labeled 1 so we can kind of align it up with our phone. So you kind of want to line it the best you can. We'll take our squeegee and kind of get any bubbles out that we see here. So that's a little off, so we'll reposition. Okay, so I've eyeballed it the best that we can. We'll go ahead and get out all of the little air bubbles that we can. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and flip this back and peel up the last piece, holding that in place. Actually, we'll get rid of, God, there's a lot of dust on this thing. And that's underneath the screen protector. It's not, I don't believe that's from me because it's covering it. So once that's done, we'll go ahead and pull out this last piece and kind of push that down with our squeegee to get all the bubbles out as we go. Okay, and it says that any bubbles that are remaining should go away within a couple days. But we'll go ahead and try to get out as many as we can here. Okay, we've got out a lot of the bubbles, and then after you've done that, we'll go ahead and go to step 2, and we'll peel off the top portion of the screen protector. Of course so once you've got out most of the air bubbles, then we'll go ahead and push down the sides here. So the screen protector did lift itself up a little bit when I ripped off the second portion down at the bottom here. And you really don't want to try to get out any of these bubbles after the fact because it is kind of rubbery and this squeegee kind of makes marks on the screen protector. So when the step 2 film is still on top, make sure you get all the bubbles out first because that's plastic and it glides smoothly. Once that screen film is taken off, it definitely does leave a lot of marks if you try to use a squeegee here. So try to get out as many bubbles as you can before you rip that off. But as far as I can tell, The screen protector is adhering to the phone pretty well. The corners seem to be pretty good. It feels pretty good. It's a little grippy. Let's test out the fingerprint sensor. So this is without me having to re-input my fingerprints. You're going to want to do that anyway, just to make sure that it accurately reads your fingerprints once you've installed the screen protector. So make sure you do that after your installation. I'm just showing you that it's actually still working, even though I haven't re-registered my fingerprints. So it seems to be working pretty good. Again, it's a little grippy. We'll see how well it works with the S Pen. Seems to be working pretty good. We'll go ahead and do a screen write. Seems to be gliding pretty well. It doesn't get stuck on the screen protector. We'll see if it leaves any marks. So I don't know if you can see or not, but I can see all the marks that I made with the S Pen. You see the little lines. So, and I wasn't pressing really hard. I was pressing, with normal pressure. And I mean, you can't see the lines unless it's a reflection in the light. If you're wondering about the S Pen and you're going to get the screen protector, I'd probably stay away from the films if you're going to be using the S Pen, because it will make those little lines on the screen, especially if you use it a lot. So yeah, I'd probably stay away from the screen protector if you're using an S Pen. But for the most part, like I said, it seems to be on there pretty good. We'll go ahead and put it in a case, see what happens there. If it's on there pretty good, don't see any lifting. It comes right up to the edge of the case as well. Okay, so would I get the screen protector? I would probably say yes. It seems to be adhering pretty well to the screen itself. It works with cases. Installation was fairly easy. It's just you have to eyeball it yourself, and also make sure you get all the bubbles out before you take off step 2. If you're going to be using the screen protector with an S Pen, I would probably stay away from it because it's going to show those little swirly marks or anything that you make with the S Pen. But other than that, I'd give this one a thumbs up. All right, so next up we have the Spigen NeoFlex. This is a 2-pack. All right, so here we have the solution for the installation. A little install card. We get 2 screen protectors and our little accessory packet here. Okay, so it looks like they give you absolutely nothing to clean your screen off, so you're gonna have to get your own alcohol and wipe it down yourself, which doesn't make sense to me, because if your screen is dirty, you're not gonna want to install the screen protector. So I think they kind of cheaped out on that, which doesn't make sense. And from what the installation video shows, they want you to put it in your case, put your phone in the case, and then install the screen protector. So I guess you can accurately get it centered, because they don't give you any installation guides or anything like that. So we will put our phone inside the case here. So go ahead and get one of our screen protectors here. And from what it showed, they want you to spray the screen protector at least 10 times. Okay, so it's on this piece of paper. So when we peel it off, the underside is the side that we're going to spray down. So we'll spray the phone. Okay, and then we'll peel this off. Hold it in our hand, and then we'll spray it at at least 10 times. Okay, and we'll put that on our phone. And once you think you have it centered, we'll go ahead and squeegee out all of the water. Probably want to hold it down so it doesn't move and then just squeegee it out. Yeah, I believe all the water's pretty much squeegeed out. So we'll go ahead and dry it off now. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the case now. I'm going to go ahead and wipe those edges down because we need them to stick. I'm going to take this and just push down on the edges here. Okay, then I want you to wait 3 minutes and then we're going to go ahead and test out the fingerprint. Installation looks pretty good so far except for these edges. Alright, so it's been about 3 minutes now. Go ahead and give the screen one last little wipe down here. And then we'll go ahead and register our fingerprints. So the installation actually looks pretty flawless. There's like a little, it looks like a little bit of moisture in the corner, but that's really minute. Edges, everything looks good. I think the key to getting these edges down is really just rubbing over them for a couple minutes on each side, really getting them to dry and stick down. As you can see, there are no bubbles whatsoever. Screen looks great. I'm pretty surprised. All right, let's go ahead and test out our fingerprint. Fingerprint seems to be working flawlessly so far. Yep, barely touching it. Yeah, fingerprint works great, and I haven't re-registered either. Yeah. So if you're having trouble, re-register, but if you're not and everything's working great, then I wouldn't worry about it. So let's go ahead and try out the S Pen. So the S Pen works. There is a little bit of resistance, actually quite a good amount of resistance because of the rubbery type of material that it is, but it works. So I can see really faint swirl marks. Not the whole time I was using the S Pen, but there are some faint marks. Let me see if I can bring some up here. There's one right there. There's one on the side there. There's one right there. So they're very faint. Not as prominent as some of the other screen protectors were, but you can still see some of the swirl marks. It's not that bad though. This screen protector does seem to have a little more resistance than any of the other screen protectors that I've used, but the faintness of the marks are less on this screen protector than it is on any other screen protector. Like I said, those edges seem to be staying down pretty good. Not bad at all. Like I said, it's not like the Ringke installation where there were a whole bunch of bubbles everywhere. There aren't any bubbles. It had like a 3-minute drying time and then you're pretty much done. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Fingerprint sensor is working flawlessly. S Pen works. The screen protector is case friendly. There's no bubbles. I can't see a reason why I wouldn't want to give this screen protector a thumbs up. Fingerprints don't seem to show up a lot. There are some fingerprints, but it's not like a fingerprint magnet. Let's go ahead and put it in the case again just to kind of make sure. So the screen protector pretty much comes almost up to the edges here on each side. And it looks like it comes right up to the end on the top and the bottom. There's just a very, very small gap, if any. I also want to let you know how the screen protector feels when you move your finger across the screen. There does seem to be more resistance on this screen protector than any of the other screen protectors that I've tested so far. You may or may not like that. I like a little resistance, especially when you're using the fingerprint sensor. It helps keep your thumb in place instead of sliding a little bit, causing the fingerprint not to be recognized. But again, it's not, so bad to where you can't slide your thumb. It's just you're going to encounter a little resistance because it's a little more grippy than usual. So, I mean, really only time will tell to see if this will start lifting, but as of right now, I don't see any lifting on the screen protector. So I'm going to go ahead and give this screen protector a thumbs up, guys. If you're looking for a film screen protector, this one seems to be working really well, even with the S Pen. All right, so next up we have amFilm's Elastic Skin HD Clear Screen Protector. All right, so this is a 2-pack. You get 2 screen protectors. We get a little mat to stick your phone to for installation. And then we get our little accessory packet here. It's got a squeegee, some dust removal stickers, a wipe, and some alcohol wipes, and an installation guide. Okay, so first what we're going to want to do is put down our adhesive pad. Then we'll pull up the film here. And then we'll go ahead and stick our phone onto the pad. That'll help keep it in place. Okay, then we're going to take our little guide tool here. We'll take off the top and we're going to insert this into the USB Type-C slot on the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to remove tab 1. Don't touch the underside. And we're going to go ahead and align the holes up with the bottom here. Then we will clip on the other piece. Then we're going to go ahead and lower this down. Make sure it's all aligned. And we'll go ahead and press on the line here back and forth. Okay, then we're going to lift number 2. And as you can see, it'll start to come up, and we want that to go over the phone. We'll take our squeegee, put it on the line, and then slowly push forward until the extra screen pushes out. Okay, and then we'll squeegee that a little bit, get any bubbles. Then we'll do the same thing to this other side. We'll lift up this little tab here. We will take out the number 3. We'll lift this back until you start to see the piece in the back coming up. We'll take our squeegee, we'll put it on that little line again, and then push forward like we did the last one, taking out this little extra piece. All right, so once that's done, we will go ahead and push down the sides here. And then we'll go ahead and lift up on 3 very carefully. And the screen protector is installed underneath, and we'll just go ahead and get out any extra bubbles that we see here. And then we will take our little wipe and wipe down the sides, pushing down to make sure that it seals. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the phone here. All right, so then the installation looks really good. Got a little bubble at the bottom. Don't press too hard because you'll cause marks on the screen protector. Just kind of take it out as nice as you can. So again, installation was pretty good. As you can see, there's really no bubbles. It comes all the way up to the edge pretty much. Just gives you a little bit of room on the bottom and the top and more on the sides. Feels not as smooth as glass. There is some stickiness to it. It feels like it could be a little rubbery. Let's go ahead and test out the fingerprint sensor. Fingerprint sensor seems to be working pretty well. Yep, all right. Let's go ahead and test out the S Pen here. So it does feel pretty smooth. There is a little bit of resistance, but that'll help you with your drawing. So it does feel pretty good with the S Pen. Let's go ahead and clean it off. So again, because this is kind of like that rubbery screen protector, I can see a lot of the marks that I made, and I'm sure you can too with the S Pen. So if you're going to be using this screen protector with an S Pen, I'd probably stay away from it just because it shows all the marks that you're going to be making on your screen. But other than that, it looks really well, feels good. I like a little resistance with my screen. I don't like it to be too slippery, but it's definitely good enough for using it on a day-to-day basis. Seems to be adhering to the sides. Let's go ahead and put it in a case. It does seem to come up right to the edge of the case. It doesn't seem to be touching it. There's no lifting on the edges, which is nice. So that seems to be pretty good. It works well with the fingerprint sensor. So yeah, if you're looking for a film screen protector, this one is definitely a go. But if you're looking to use it with an S Pen, I would probably stay away from it because, again, you can see all those lines that I made with the S Pen, and I really wasn't pressing any harder than you normally would. Installation super easy. The guide makes it nice and lined up with your phone, so you don't have to worry about that. I definitely give this one a thumbs up. Okay, and here we have the Ringke Easy Flex film. This is a 2-pack film screen protector. Okay, so here are our 2 screen protectors. Looks like our guide stickers. You get a little sprayer for your water. Get a couple of guide stickers, a cleaning wipe, and a squeegee. Okay, so first thing we want to clean off our screen. Okay, then we're going to take our guide stickers, stick one on the bottom here, and one on the top. Then we're going to spray our fingers, and then we're going to peel. There's a protective cover on here which says peel off after application, so we're going to leave that on. We'll go ahead and peel off the protector. We'll place it upside down. We're going to go ahead and spray the whole protector. Okay, then we're going to spray off our phone. Then we'll use our guide stickers to lift up the protector. And we'll place it on our phone in the correct spot. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now we'll go ahead and use the squeegee, and we'll squeegee out any remaining water. Be very careful not to peel up the screen protector itself. So instead of removing the guides, we'll go ahead and remove the protective front cover. So very carefully peel this up. Make sure you're not pulling up the screen protector with it. We'll go ahead and squeegee down any remaining parts, any water. Go ahead and press down the sides here. So this makes installation pretty easy because if it's not in the right spot, you can just move it because of the water. Okay, as you can see, there are bubbles on the screen. But again, like I said, they should disappear within 48 hours. It has kind of like a smooth plasticky feel. Let's see if the fingerprint sensor works. Yep, fingerprint sensor seems to be working fine. Yep. Let's try the S Pen. It does seem to be working. Again, there's like there is some resistance because it is more like a rubbery type material. I do see slight marks from the S Pen. See if I can show you. You can see like down at the bottom the marks. So if you're going to use an S Pen, you're probably going to see some marks from that pen. Fingerprint sensor seems to be working pretty good. The sides seem to be staying down pretty well. Let's go ahead and put it in our case here. So it seems to be case friendly. It doesn't seem to be peeling up or anything around the edges or at the sides. Seems to be doing pretty good. There is a bubble down there at the bottom here. We're going to have to wait 48 hours to see how well these bubbles disappear. So other than the bubbles that should disappear, everything seems to be pretty good. S Pen works fine. Fingerprint sensor works very well. It fits inside your case without any peeling. So far I'm going to give this one a thumbs up, but we're going to come back after 48 hours to see if the bubbles have disappeared. Okay, so we're back with the Ringke EasyFlex screen protector. It's probably been about 12 hours now, and all of the bubbles on the screen have completely disappeared, except for this one small little one off in the corner. As you can see, they are all pretty much gone, except for this one in the corner there, but that's not such a huge deal. We still have 12 hours to go. There are a few things here that picked up some dust, like this little piece here and a little hair here, but that's not the screen protector's fault. That's what happened during the installation. There are also still some swirly marks from the use of the S Pen. You can't really get away from that because all of the screens that are going to be used with the curved screen protectors are going to be made of this kind of rubbery material because they have to relax enough to stay down over the edges. They can't be like those stiff plastic screen protectors that we used to use on the flat screens of some of the other phones that they used to have. It works great with the in-display fingerprint sensor. Touch works great. S Pen works, and it's case friendly, and none of the edges are coming up at all. And I've put this in and out of cases multiple times already, and it still stays down. The only thing that I can really see as a con is it picks up fingerprints really easy, but that is pretty much it. Other than that, it seems like a really good screen protector, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Okay, next up is the ESR Liquid Skin Full Coverage Screen Protector. Okay, so here we get a little kind of matte piece to keep your phone from moving. We have the little sticky tape from the other screen protector we used. Get some instructions. You get 3 accessory packets. You get a guide and 3 screen protectors, as well as a squeegee. So we'll put down our mat, put our phone on top of the mat, and then we'll go ahead and take the top off of this little guide here. And then we'll go ahead and stick that into the USB Type-C on the bottom. So first what you're going to want to do is remove the label that has the 1 on it. Go ahead and put that down on the little guide here. We'll go ahead and put our little piece through the bottom. Probably should have put the other pieces down first, but that's how it is. So we'll press that into place. And then we'll go ahead and take our squeegee and kind of squeegee this down up into the point that says 2. We'll go ahead and push this back. We will pull up 2 a little bit so it comes up over our phone. And I see a little piece of dust. And then we'll go ahead and squeegee that down. Get out any little bubbles you see. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and take this piece off the top here. And then we're going to remove the label that says 3, making sure that it doesn't lift your screen protector up with it, which it seems like it kind of is. So we'll just squeegee that down a little bit again. Okay, I'll go ahead and remove the guide. Then we'll squeegee out any remaining bubbles gently. And then we'll go ahead and take our wipe. Make sure you push down on the edges here to get a nice seal. Do the same thing for the other side. So there are some bubbles. It wasn't the best installation. It was fairly easy to do, but I think it could have probably been a little better. So again, it does look like there are a few bubbles. They may disappear within a day or so. Feels pretty good. It feels kind of a little grippy. It's not as smooth as glass. See if it works with the fingerprint sensor. Yep, seems to work with the fingerprint sensor as well. Let's go ahead and test out the S Pen. There is some resistance, which again, I like. It is pretty smooth. It's showing some of the pen marks again slightly. As you can see from the light. Seems to be adhering to the edges okay. It may need to be pressed down a little bit longer. There are some bubbles on the edge, very slight. It may peel up over a little bit of time. But again, I think if you just work at the edges a little bit to get it down, it should be okay. But again, only time will tell. It seems to leave a little bit of edge at the bottom and the top. Those are a little more on the edges. We'll go ahead and put it in a case. Doesn't seem to be coming up too bad. There is a little bit of lifting on the edge here, just a tiny bit. So it may or may not work with your case. But it's not too bad. So it seems to be working with the in-display fingerprint sensor. You can use it with the S Pen, but again, you may see the little markings from you using your S Pen on the screen. It does hold fingerprints, so you're going to be wiping it off a little bit from time to time. Yeah, there is a little bit of lifting on the edge over here. Let's see if we can get it to show up. There's some bubbles on the edge. It's kind of lifting. So a couple things with this screen protector here. It does seem to be lifting up in the bottom edge a little bit because of the case. So if you're going to put a case on, just be aware that there may be some lifting on the edges. There's also a little bit of bubbles on the sides here, but again, that might go away with time and you just pressing down on it. It does work well with the in-display fingerprint sensor, but if you're going to be using the S Pen, it will show some light swirl marks from you marking on the screen, and it does pick up fingerprints a lot. There are a few bubbles underneath the screen, but hopefully those should go away within a couple days. And again, it's got that grippy feel to it, just in case you were interested. It's not like as smooth as glass, but it's not that far off. But I would probably say pass on this screen protector. Okay, so next up we have the PULEN film screen protector. Here we have our little accessory packet. We have some little foam bumps to keep your phone from moving around. You have a little installation guide tool, a squeegee, 3 screen protectors. It also comes with a back glass protector for your camera, and then your rather lengthy installation guide. So as far as the bumps go, you can pretty much just put one down on the top and the bottom of your phone so it won't move around when you're doing installations. That's pretty nice. Okay, so we'll put in our little installation guide. Okay, so we're going to take our screen protector. We're going to put the little label that says 2 and align it on our little guide here. And we'll put that down. Make sure that it's lined up on the top here with the camera. All right, then we'll go ahead and take our squeegee. We'll go ahead and put it on the line here, and we'll lift this up until the little green tab goes over our screen, and then we'll slowly push it forward. And then we'll go ahead and do the same with the back here. Go ahead and lift up 2, push down our squeegee until the little green end goes over our phone, and we'll go ahead and push it to the back. Taking out our little guide here. We'll push out any bubbles that we see, and you can kind of just take your little wipe and then push down on the edges here. Do the same thing for the other side. Then we'll go ahead and lift up very carefully on the number 2, making sure not to lift the screen protector underneath. Go ahead and wipe this down a little bit again. And then we'll go over those edges. Make sure it stays down pretty well. Okay, we'll go ahead and test out the fingerprint sensor. Yep, fingerprint sensor works pretty good. It again has that kind of rubbery feel to it. It seems like all the film screen protectors that I've tested so far have that rubbery type feel. Edges seem to be staying down pretty good. Installation was pretty straightforward and easy. I don't see any bubbles. I'm sorry, there is a slight one just like right there. But again, that should hopefully go away within a day. Let's go ahead and test out the S Pen. It's pretty smooth. There is a little bit of resistance. So again, just like the other film screen protectors, you can slightly see the marks made by the S Pen on the screen. So if you're using an S Pen, you might just want to stick with the glass screen protectors. Let's go ahead and put it in a case. Seems to come right up to the edge of the case. I don't see any lifting. Seems to be on there pretty good. Responsive. Don't see any issues there. So yeah, I would probably say this one's a go. It does have that slight resistance when you slide your finger across the screen. But again, I like a slight resistance just because it makes using the fingerprint sensor and everything else easier. But it's not, you know, super grippy. It's just there's a little bit of resistance because it is like a rubbery type material. This one is definitely easy to install. Works great with the in-display fingerprint sensor. Seems to be staying down in the edges with the case. The only thing is, if you're using the S Pen, you're going to see those little swirl marks when you mark on the phone, and it does seem to pick up fingerprints pretty easily as well. But other than that, seems to be pretty good. Okay, so now we'll do the tempered glass camera protector. Just kind of peel it off the plastic here. Just make sure you don't touch the bottom or underneath the protector. Make sure you clean the lenses off very well. Okay, now we'll go ahead and put in our protector. Just kind of got to eyeball it the best you can. And then just go over it with your finger. Make sure it's pressed down nice and even. You can use the outer edge of the lens as a guide. Seems to work pretty well. Go ahead and wipe this off. So a little pop-up comes up on the camera that says a clean lens makes for better shots. Clean your camera lens to keep taking great pictures. So that's not necessarily a good thing, but we'll take a couple pictures to kind of see what they look like. It definitely looks pretty good just looking through the camera itself. And then here are those camera samples that I took with the glass screen protector over the camera bump on the back. So it's not too bad. Pictures look pretty good as I was looking from the phone, but we'll go ahead and put those up so I can show you what they actually look like coming from the phone itself. Seems to stick on there pretty good. Not bad if you want to protect your cameras on the back. And we'll go ahead and put that in the case and see what that looks like. And there's still a raised edge to protect your camera bump. Okay, next up for the film screen protectors is one made by TOCOL. Here we have our accessory package, installation guide. Here we have another little guide here. 3 screen protectors. And we get one of those little mats again. So we'll put down our mat, put our phone on top of the mat. We'll put in our little installation guide here. Okay, so first off, we're going to peel off the tab that says number 1 on it. Next up, we're going to go ahead and insert the little end here into the guide. Press that down, make sure that the screen protector doesn't touch the screen yet. Okay, so once that's into the guide, I'm going to go ahead and hold the guide, and then we're going to hold the tab number 2 and kind of pull that forward and make sure it's aligned with our camera up top. And then we're going to go ahead, and once that's aligned, you'll go ahead and just press down in the middle here. We'll take our squeegee and kind of get out any bubbles that we see. Then we're going to go ahead and lift up on tab 2, put our squeegee down at the line here, make sure that the yellow protector goes over our phone, and press forward with the squeegee. Then we're going to go ahead and take out the little installation guide on the bottom here. Then we're going to go ahead and lift up on number 3. Put our squeegee at the line here. Again, making sure that the yellow portion goes over our phone, and then just push out with the squeegee. And get out any bubbles. Then we'll go ahead and get our wipe. Make sure we rub down these sides to push those down. Then we're going to go ahead and gently lift up on tab 4, making sure it doesn't peel up the screen protector as well. And then again, we'll go ahead and use our wipe to push those edges down nice and neat. So that looks pretty good. There's a slight bubble on the bottom here. Not too bad. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that fingerprint sensor. No problems there. Do it one more time. Yeah, works perfect with the fingerprint sensor. Let's go ahead and try the S Pen. There is, again, a slight resistance because this is that film. So again, ever so slightly, you can see the markings from the S Pen. Just ever so slightly, but again, that seems to be the trend with these film screen protectors. Installation was super easy. There don't seem to be any bubbles, any lifting on the edges. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and put it in our case. So again, I don't see any lifting. The screen protector comes right up to the edge of the case, so there is just the slightest bit of room for it. Don't see any lifting, no bubbles. Just like all the other film screen protectors, there's no issues with touch. Everything is working just fine. Works great with the in-display fingerprint sensor. It does, again, have that rubber feel. There is a resistance when you slide your finger over it. It does pick up fingerprints. And if you're going to use it for the S Pen, you will see some slight markings from that. But other than that, it seems to be a pretty good screen protector. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a thumbs up. Okay, so here we have another one by Audins. So here we have a couple installation packets, a squeegee, installation guide, and 2 screen protectors. Okay, so this is a privacy film, which is different than some of the other ones we've already been looking at. Okay, so this is going to be another one that you're going to have to eyeball yourself. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to peel off the one that has the number 1 on it. And then we'll go ahead and line up the camera hole with the bottom of the screen here. I'm also going to use a guide sticker, and we'll go ahead and stick that guide sticker on the bottom here to help have something to hold on to accurately put it in place. So I think that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and press this down on the bottom. Okay, then what we're going to go ahead and do is peel this back a little bit. And we'll go ahead and take our squeegee. We'll put it on the back here and make sure that the plastic peels up and goes over the top of our phone. And then we'll just push forward. Make sure you get out any bubbles that you can. Then we'll go ahead and take our little wipe and we'll push down on the sides here. And then we'll very carefully lift up on number 3, making sure it doesn't lift up our screen protector. And then we'll take our wipe again and just wipe down those edges. Make sure they're down. Slight bubble in the middle here. It may go away by itself within a couple days, but only time will tell. Okay, looks pretty good so far. We got some air bubbles down at the bottom. We'll just very gently push them out with our squeegee. Feels pretty nice. There is a slight grip to it. See if it works with the fingerprint sensor. Yep. Seems to be working fine with that. Let's go ahead and test out the S Pen. Seems to be working just fine with the S Pen. So again, this is a film screen protector, and you will see some slight markings from the S Pen, just like on all the other ones. There was a little bit of resistance with the S Pen, but again, that's pretty normal for the film screen protectors. So let's test out the privacy screen. So as you can see it, now you can't. That is pretty cool. You can see all the marks I made with the S Pen on the screen. Let's go ahead and put it in our case. There is a slight weird look to the screen, but that's just because it's a privacy screen. It doesn't seem to be coming up on the edges. So it is case friendly. We do have a slight bubble down at the bottom right hand corner here. So with these screen protectors, you got to kind of be careful about how hard and what you press down on with the screen, because as you can see that little bubble, I tried to get out with the S Pen and it kind of damaged the screen a little bit. Now this might heal over the course of a couple days, but we'll have to see. The touch works. There is a slight grip when you run your finger over it. Touch doesn't seem to be affected at all. Seems to be working pretty well. Again, like I said, there is a slight like tinge to the picture because of the privacy screen, but you'll have to turn your brightness up a little bit. But other than that, it seems to look pretty good. So it does work with the S Pen, but it leaves markings. Works great with the in-display fingerprint sensor. The screen does pick up fingerprints pretty easily. It does seem to be case friendly. So if you're looking for a film screen protector, I'd probably give this one a thumbs up. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the tempered glass screen protectors that don't use liquid adhesive. This one's made by GBBC. You're going to be seeing a lot of these that look the same. So if you get this particular one, just know that it's probably made by a whole bunch of different other companies as well. Okay, so here we have an accessory packet, installation guide. You also get a back screen protector for your camera, which is not tempered glass. It is just a film. Then we have 2 glass screen protectors. Okay, so here's our glass screen protector. As you'll notice, there seems to be a little cutout for the fingerprint sensor and for our camera. So we're going to just go ahead and pull off the bottom protector. Make sure you don't touch the underside. We'll go ahead and we'll double tap the screen so we can see where the fingerprint sensor is, so we can line up our holes here. Wow. This one seems to be putting down some dust, so be careful with that. Okay, and then once you have it down, we'll go ahead and push down on the edges here, because that's where the adhesive is. So I don't know if you can see or not, but they put adhesive underneath the little glass that goes over your camera. Why? I don't know. Like there looks like a hole. Like why wouldn't they just leave a hole for the camera? But as you can see now, there's it's like smudged because of the adhesive. So I don't like that already. Let's go ahead and put down our fingerprint sensor. It's the biggest thing I don't like about these adhesive screen protectors is these little holes with adhesive. They don't go down very well. No matter how much you push down on them, just don't seem to be going well. But that camera hole right there, there's like adhesive. Well, we'll go ahead and see what it looks like. But let's test out the fingerprint sensor. So it says fingerprint doesn't match, so we'll go ahead and redo our fingerprints for this particular install. Touch seems to be working well, so that's a plus. Go ahead and add our fingerprint. It says make sure the fingerprint sensor is clean and dry, then try again. Okay. It's as clean as I can make it. I'm pressing as hard as I can. Let's go back to our settings, add fingerprints. So it seems to be picking up my fingerprint pretty well. Okay, so fingerprint is added. I also made sure that the touch sensitivity is on, so it increases the sensitivity of the touch. So it's working and it's not. Fingerprint doesn't match. Okay. So it seems to be hit and miss, and the fact that it has that little smudge kind of drives me crazy because I can see it with the phone on, and it bothers me. I don't know if it would bother you, but the fingerprint sensor not working every single time is kind of annoying. As you can see, that smudge, you can still see it with the phone screen on, and I really don't like that. Let's see how the S Pen works. S Pen seems to work fine. There is a little resistance again. It seems to work over the hole as well. So the S Pen's working fine. Yep, no scratches or anything on the screen. But again, that fingerprint's not working as well as it was when I first, before I put the screen protector on, is definitely not a good thing. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the selfie camera. Camera seems to be okay. I don't really see any smudging, but I just kind of I don't like the fact that it's there at all. I'd like it to be like perfect glass, just as it would be if the screen protector wasn't on there. Let's go and put it in the case. There is a slight gap on the bottom and the sides, but it comes all the way up to the top on the case here. Again, that's just due to placement because you have to eyeball it yourself, but it seems to be case friendly. So I would probably stay away from these types of screen protectors just because they don't work 100%. Like the fingerprint, it doesn't work every single time, and it's annoying. I want my fingerprint to work every single time, and the fact that it has that smudge drives me crazy. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand that. So I would probably stay away from this screen protector. Okay, and then here we have that. It seems like film. It says glass, but if it's glass, it's super, super thin. I mean, look at it bend. That's not solid glass. So we'll go ahead and just line it up with the back portion here. And then we'll just go ahead and press it down. So there it is. I mean, it protects your camera. Whether it's glass or not, I would say it's super thin plastic glass, if at all, but I mean, it's going to give you some scratch protection. It does seem to be picking up fingerprints pretty well, so you're going to be wiping it off often, and we'll go ahead and take a picture here. Pictures still seem to come out pretty good, but like I said, I'd still stay away from this whole setup if I were you. All right, next up is the one by MAXVITAVELA. This is also tempered glass. So here we get an accessory packet, our instructions. Here is our screen protector for our camera. Again, it looks exactly like the one we just did. And then here is our screen protector, but this particular one is a privacy screen. So if you look at it dead on, you can pretty much see through it. If you tilt it to the side, it's all black, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and peel off the bottom sticker here. Make sure you don't touch underneath. And then we'll go ahead and turn on the screen so we can get a better idea of where the edges are. Okay, once you have it all lined up, we'll go ahead and press down hard on the edges. So that's where the adhesive is. All right, so that looks pretty clean. There's no smudge underneath the camera. Let's check out the touch, our fingerprints. Okay, fingerprint sensor is not working, so we'll go ahead and put in a new set of fingerprints. It definitely does dull the screen down a little bit, so you have to turn up the brightness a little more. Okay, we're going to add our fingerprints. Fingerprint sensor does not work at all. As you can see, there's no little cutout. It is just full glass, and it will not detect your fingerprints. So if you wanted to use this with your fingerprint sensor, just know that that's not going to work. The touch seems to be working just fine. There's no issues with touch. Turn up the screen brightness here so I can see. Let's go ahead and test out the S Pen. S Pen seems to be working just fine. No issues there. It glides really easily because it is glass. All right, let's check out that privacy screen. So as you can see, we're looking dead on. You can see the screen, but if I tilt it, you can't see the screen anymore, which is cool. So not bad, but again, the fingerprint sensor doesn't work at all. So if you want it for privacy, works great. Installation seems to be fine. Touch is working great. S Pen's working great, except for that fingerprint sensor. So if you want the fingerprint sensor to work, I'm going to give this a thumbs down. But if you don't care, then go ahead and buy it. For me, this is going to be a thumbs down. I'd probably stay away from this one. And then as far as the rear camera protector, it's just like the one I've already showed you, so I'm not going to waste your time. All right, the next one up is going to be by MAXBOSS. Okay, so here's that back screen protector again for your cameras, exactly like the last ones. You get two of these screen protectors, and these have the little cutout hole for your fingerprint sensor. Again, this is exactly like the other ones that I've already showed you, so I'm not going to waste your time. And the same goes for the next few that I'm going to show you. They look almost exactly the same, so if they are, I'm just going to kind of pass right over them. So we already know how well this one works. I would probably say skip this one. All right, next up we have one by SOSUS. So again, here is that same screen protector for your camera. And then here is the glass screen protector, but it does not have a fingerprint hole, as you can see. So we'll see how well this one works out. You get two of these, by the way, and then you also get your accessory packet. So I went ahead and put on one of my guide stickers, and then we'll go ahead and peel off the plastic backing. Again, make sure you don't touch the underside. So this says it's for the Ultra, but it doesn't even reach across the whole phone. And there's a black border, so you have to get this part over the camera or above the camera. And there's a huge gap at the bottom. Look at that gap. Look how much of a gap we have. It doesn't even reach the bottom. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you to stay away from this one. On the bottom here, as you can see, it's for the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, but it's not even big enough for this phone. So we'll just go ahead and pass by this one, because I'm not going to expect anybody to use a screen protector that doesn't reach all the way across the whole phone. So that's definitely a no-go. All right, so next up we have PULEN. So here we get our accessory packet. You get two screen protectors. And then here are those glass screen protectors that I've already showed you with the film screen. Just the same. Okay, so we'll go ahead and peel off the bottom. Make sure you don't touch that underneath. Go ahead and turn on the screen so we can see where our fingerprint is. And then we'll go ahead and press down around the edges here. This one seems to have that smudge for the selfie camera, which I don't like. I'm just going to go ahead and redo my fingerprints because I know it's probably not going to work anyway. Okay, so this one does not work with the fingerprint sensor. Again, I'm not going to even waste your time because This is just like one of the other screen protectors we've already seen with this hole. It's going to work perfectly fine with the S Pen, which I'll just show you just in case. S Pen, it works just fine. Yep, works just fine. Touch seems to work well. Depending on how you put it on, it may or may not fit well, but mine is just a little bit off, so it's kind of peeling up on one edge. I really don't like these screen protectors. I would definitely tell you to just stay away from them, but again, it's your decision. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a thumbs down. Okay, so here we have one by MagGlass. Here's our accessory packet. Here's a single tempered glass screen protector, and we get a guide with this one, which is always nice. I don't know why all the other ones don't come with those. I like guides. It just makes it, I like perfect installations. I don't like to have to eyeball it, because then usually it's going to be off at some point. Put the guide down, so we'll just put that over the screen here and then just press it firmly in place. So on the guide itself, it actually does have a little up on the end here, so just make sure that that part goes towards the camera. So it looks like this screen protector is kind of like the other ones. It has a fingerprint cutout or a little spot for your fingerprint. Okay, we'll go ahead and peel off the bottom part. And I'll go ahead and place the screen protector inside here. All right, and then we'll just go ahead and pull up on the guide and then press firmly down on the edges here. And then what they want you to do is take your fingernail and smooth out the fingerprint portion. Make sure you get everywhere inside the little hole. All right, so go ahead and try the fingerprint. So it sometimes works. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and redo our fingerprints. Okay, we'll go ahead and test it out. So it definitely isn't as fast as if you didn't have a glass screen protector on it, but it does seem to be working. At least better than the other ones. The only thing that I don't like is the fact that you can see that little hole for your fingerprint. It drives me nuts, and if you catch it in the right light, you can really see it. So that's the only thing that I don't particularly like. Let's go ahead and try out the S Pen. The touch seems to be working fine. There's no issues with that. S Pen seems to work just fine. It's, like I said, there's like a little resistance, but it's pretty smooth. So the S Pen works. Seems to go right up to the edge on the case. It doesn't seem to be lifting, but the installation wasn't exactly spot on either. So it does seem to fit inside the case. The fingerprint sensor does work, but it's definitely delayed. It's not as nearly as quick as if you didn't use a screen protector. S Pen works well. Fingerprints do seem to be an issue. So I'll probably give this one a thumbs up. Everything seems to be working, even though, like I said, there is a slight delay in it working. It does still work. Okay, so now we're moving on to the screen protectors that do use liquid adhesive, and the first one is made by AsBellt. Here we have our little accessory packet, some gloves so you don't get the adhesive on your fingers. We have our little foam stoppers. You also get a couple screen protectors for your camera on the back. Here's some foam for your button covers, your installation guide, 2 glass screen protectors, 2 vials of adhesive, a little pull-out tool. Here's our guide, and a little UV LED that uses USB Type-C. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do here is attach our little foam stoppers here. The short one's going to go underneath the camera bump, and then the longer one's going to go down at the bottom. Okay, so once our stickers are in place in the bottom here, we're going to go ahead and take these little foam stickers and place them over our buttons. So the small ones go over the power button and the longer one goes over the volume button. Make sure you place them exactly over your buttons because you don't want any of that liquid adhesive to get inside. Okay, once those are down evenly, we'll go ahead and move on to our speaker. Now this one's very important. This one is going to go over your speaker grill. You really need to make sure that it lines up with the speaker grill perfectly because you really don't want to get any of that adhesive inside of your speaker. Okay, so once that's in place, we'll go ahead and continue. So now we're going to take the little ends here. So then you're going to take the top guide. This is the one that has the little slot. This is going to go up by the camera. We'll peel off the little sticker and then push it onto the top of your phone, making sure that the little nubs reach the top of your screen. And then press it on there pretty hard. Make sure there's no gaps. Okay, then we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the bottom one. Okay, we'll go ahead and put our little guide in the slot here. Make sure it slides in and out pretty easily. And we'll go ahead and take one of our vials. You're going to need to cut off the end. Flip the vial upside down, kind of in the center of the screen here. And we'll twist off the little black cap, which will release all of the liquid. So make sure you have it in place. Okay, once that's done, put this off somewhere where it won't get all over everything. Put the cap back on. Okay, so make sure that that little bubble is kind of in the middle of your screen here. Go ahead and get one of our glass screen protectors. Then we'll peel off the bottom. Okay, so I went to go peel off the sticker on the bottom here, but there doesn't seem to be any. It's just a sticker. This little sticker here. There's nothing coming off with it. So I don't know what's going on with that. If there was even a protector underneath it. Go ahead and try our second one here. Okay, so it says remove me. We'll go ahead and take off this screen protector here. This one has one. And then we'll place our screen protector down against the bottom here. And again, place it, make sure the little bubbles in the center. And then we will just slowly take out the little guide here. It should fall into place. We have to adjust it a little bit here. Okay. So liquid is spilling out over the sides. Try not to touch it if you can. You can do like little cleanups here and there. I use these little kind of Q-tip things that seem to work pretty well. But try not to push down on the screen protector itself and let it just adhere. We really need all of the edges here to get adhesive before we try to do anything. Okay, so it looks like it has moved a slight bit. Not by me, but it's kind of like sliding, slowly moving. So it may take a couple minutes for this little area to get the adhesive. I would just leave it alone, and it'll eventually get there by itself. This is a pretty horrible, sloppy installation because there is nothing on the edges keeping the adhesive from just spilling out all over the place like you saw that it did. There's nothing you can do except kind of clean it up afterward. And then by that time it's underneath the phone you know, and hopefully not in any, you know, little crevices or anything. I did slightly adjust it earlier, but I might have to adjust it again a little bit. Remember, if you're going to adjust it, kind of just move it from the sides. Don't press down anywhere on the top. Now, watching their video, they recommend that you pick it up and like move it around to get the liquid to move. But if you did that, the screen would be all over the place. I would just let it sit, and it should get everywhere by itself. It looks like it's settled down. It's pretty much everywhere, all over the corners. So we're going to go ahead and just slightly adjust again. Yeah, this thing is like sliding all over. There's no way you'd be able to pick it up without that moving. There's adhesive everywhere. So the installation process is just, it's god-awful. And then they want you to, you know, clean up any residue left over. But anywhere you touch the screen, it's like it moves. The screen moves, and then adhesive comes out everywhere. They just need to give you the proper setup to make it work well. So now they want you to cure this for about 10 seconds. So I have my little power bank here that I'm going to use. Okay, then they want you to kind of clean up if you can. I'd maybe take the little alcohol prep and maybe just wipe on the edges here to clean up a little bit. Make sure you get any glue off of the bottom or the sides that it kind of got on. It seems to be a little off. It's more off to the right here than it should be, but again, that's the installation that it is. It's just the screen was, you barely touched it and it was sliding all over the place. So now they want you to cure the rest of the screen for 5 minutes. This is going to be fun. Okay, so now that that's done curing, so we'll go ahead and peel off the top and the bottom now. Wow, it pulled out the SIM card tray. All right, no adhesive in there. So we'll take off the top, and we'll go ahead and remove our little stickers here. That installation was pretty horrible, but I'll give them props for giving a good solution to keeping this liquid out of all of your ports and your buttons. And just make sure you clean off the sides really well. Get any extra little adhesive that's still on there off. All right, so let's go ahead and test out that fingerprint sensor. Okay, so I have not redone my fingerprints yet, which they do definitely recommend, and I do recommend it as well. It seems to be working even though I haven't done that yet, but we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Touch seems to be working perfectly fine. Seems to be reading pretty well. Okay, fingerprint added. We'll go ahead and test it. Seems to be pretty quick. Yeah, it seems to be working pretty good. All right, so that works. Let's go ahead and test out the S Pen, and I have no doubt it's going to work. Yep, seems to be working just fine. Okay, so S Pen definitely working well. Let's go ahead and try it out in our case. Seems to be case friendly. Comes up to the edge of the case on the top and the bottom. The edges, there are a very small gap, but it's there. And again, this installation wasn't the best. It was kind of sliding around, so it's a little off more to the right side than it normally would be, but it does seem to be case friendly. So if you want to put a case on your phone, you can definitely do that. There aren't any bubbles, of course. Looks great. Fingerprint sensor working well. S Pen working well. It still does give a little bit of a lip on the case in case you're worried about protection. Of course, that's going to depend on what kind of case you do get. I definitely give this one a plus. Other than how horrible the installation was, it works. So we'll go ahead and give this one a thumbs up. But I will tell you that there's definitely better screen protector installations out there. So if you want to pass on this one for that, I definitely would. I would recommend it, but it is working, so I'm going to have to give it a thumbs up. And then if you want to take the screen protector off, it comes off pretty easy. Just kind of get your fingernail under one edge and slowly lift up so you don't break the screen. And there you go. Comes off that easy. And then here we have those screen protectors for the back here. Seems to be pretty solid. It might possibly be a glass screen protector. So just kind of peel back the plastic on the back here so the screen protector comes up, and then make sure you don't touch the underside of it. And then just kind of eyeball it. And then make sure you press it down firmly. You can use the little wipe and get it on a little easier. And it does have that black covering on it to match if you have like a black phone. There seems to be no effect on quality of the pictures. It does pick up fingerprints pretty easily though, so you might be cleaning it off often. All right, so next up is the EGV tempered glass screen protector. So here we get two tempered glass screen protectors. You get a couple tempered glass screen protectors for your back camera, your accessory packet. Here's a UV light, a couple vials of liquid adhesive, micro USB cable for charging. Here we get a little level. Here's our installation tray and a little metal weight. So I've kind of set up this phone because I wanted to see where the placement of the glass lands and if these sides do anything for the buttons. And as you can see, it doesn't even go over or cover the buttons. So if liquid adhesive goes over the sides, it could very well get into your buttons. So what I would definitely recommend that you do is cover all of your ports because there's no protection for it whatsoever. So just get some like electrical tape or whatever, put them over the buttons or any microphone holes, speaker grills, charging ports. Just cover all of the holes and then we can continue with the installation. So now that I've covered all of my ports and my buttons, and I even used a little foam thing from the last installation I did for the speaker grill, we can go ahead and continue with the installation. Now, I know this is not part of the installation. They don't recommend it, but would you rather be safe or sorry? I'm telling you, I've seen installations go bad, and I'd rather you take the few minutes to cover your ports and be safe than have liquid get into it and it solidify and then you are in trouble. So just please trust me and just cover your ports and your buttons. So next up, we're going to go ahead and take our little case here and we're going to push it over the top of our phone. And then as you can see, there are these little nubs on the top and the bottoms here, and on the sides. You want the phone to be flush with those little nubs. Now we're going to take this little slider here and we're going to flip it over to get the little hole to line up with the center of your phone. We're going to take off the top cap of one of our vials here. We'll put it inside the little hole, and then we'll undo the other green cap, releasing all of the liquid. And once that's done, make sure the little bubble stays in the middle. Then what you want to do is you want to take this little thing and just slide it over to where it reaches the back, but don't pull it out. Make sure you keep it right there. Then we're going to go ahead and get one of our glass screen protectors. We're going to peel off the bottom here. Man, it is on there pretty good. Make sure you don't touch the bottom. And make sure you watch your little bubble here. It looks like it's trying to escape. Keep it in the middle. And then we'll go ahead and put our screen protector down at the bottom first. And then we'll let it rest on these little black nubs here. Make sure that's in the middle again. Now once the little bubble of liquid is in the middle, we'll go ahead and hold down the screen protector so it stays at the bottom here. Just put a little pressure on it and then slowly pull back on this black lever here until the front falls down, and then you can release holding on the back here. There we go. Just line up everything so it looks good. Wait till all the adhesive goes in all corners, all over the place. Looks like it's only going to take a few seconds. Looks like the adhesive is all over the whole screen. It only took literally like 30 seconds, so that's the quickest I've ever seen, but I do see some adhesive that got on the side there, so I'll take another one of my little things here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the screen, and we're going to take our little weight here, and we're going to put it over where the screen protector is supposed to be. So just push in the little button there. Put the little metal thing over where the fingerprint sensor goes. Then we're going to go ahead and take our LED. We're going to plug it into our power bank. Okay, then we'll go ahead and put it over where the fingerprint sensor is and just press the little button in quickly. Okay, we'll leave that there. So once that's done, we'll go ahead and remove the little metal cylinder. And then we're going to go ahead and place the LED over there again. And this time we're going to long press for 3 seconds. And we're going to do this in intervals of 3 times. So it's going to, I think, stay on for 60 seconds. And we'll do that 3 times per 3 sections. So 3 presses here for 60 seconds, 3 presses here, and 3 presses here. Now we'll move to the middle and do it for another 3 minutes. And then at the top for another 3 minutes. Okay, and then once that's done, we'll go ahead and use 2 fingers to press out our phone. And it looks like it kind of got stuck to the tray and lifted up the screen protector a little bit. That's not good. If you can see like the little, see the rainbow color down at the bottom there? This is where it got lifted. Because it got a little piece right here, looks like it leaked out and stuck onto the bottom there. So just be careful when you're pushing out your phone. The top seems to be okay. So go ahead and remove all of our stickers here. A little adhesive kind of leaked out of the top here, and if I didn't have that little sticker in there, it may have gotten into the speaker grill, which would not have been good. Okay, so give it a little wipe down. Installation looks pretty good, other than when it got lifted up from the bottom here, but let's test out the fingerprint sensor. Okay, so it doesn't see my fingerprint, so we're going to go ahead and put a fresh set in. So the fingerprint sensor does not seem to be working at all. No matter how hard I press, it recognized my fingerprint for like 1 time, and then now it's not working. Thank God. Okay, we're done. Let's see if it'll actually work. Yeah, doesn't seem to be working. So we'll go ahead and S Pen seems to be working. Pretty good. Okay. Touch seems to work well. There's no lag or anything like that. So touch is working. The only thing that's not working with this is the fingerprint sensor. So I'd probably tell you to go ahead and pass on this screen protector. The installation wasn't too bad, but if the fingerprint sensor isn't going to work, then why even bother with the screen protector? And here we have the glass screen protectors you get in the bag. Again, it's kind of just like the other ones. You can peel this off, stick it on the back, and it's pretty much just like all the other ones. It's a tempered glass screen protector, so it'll give you some good protection, but again, it collects fingerprints, so you're probably going to be, cleaning it off every time. But again, if the fingerprint sensor is not going to work, that the screen protector for the camera is not going to make you want to buy this screen protector. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a thumbs down. Okay, so the next screen protector is by QITAYO. So here you have a squeegee, our accessory packet, a tempered glass screen protector for your camera on the back. Looks like a tray or a guide for installation. You get another glass screen protector. Here we have a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable and a UV light. And it looks like another piece to the guide. And then here we have a couple screen protectors. So this isn't actually glass. This looks like the regular film screen protectors, but I believe it has adhesive to it, which needs to be hardened by the UV light, which I've never seen before. So this should be pretty cool. Okay, so first we need to set up our tray here. We'll put down this little mat. We'll place this over the mat evenly. We'll go ahead and take that little guide, and we're going to put it inside the little slot here. Just make sure that A goes with A and B goes with B. Okay, so now that we got that in place, we'll go ahead and wipe off our phone. Then you're going to want to put your phone in here and make sure that the camera is aligned with this little bump here at the top. Okay, then we'll go ahead and open up one of our screen protectors. Then we're going to go ahead and align the lines down here with the little nubs here. We'll go ahead and press that down on top of there firmly. Now that that's on there, we're going to go ahead and remove 1 and 2. And don't let it touch the screen, and we'll go ahead and line up the little hole here with the top of the plastic. Now we'll go ahead and take our squeegee, and we're going to go ahead and start here and then just push all the way to the end. Then work out any bubbles that you might see. And we're going to go ahead and peel up the top here. Make sure you don't peel off the screen protector that you just put down. And we'll remove this little piece here. Then we'll go ahead and take the phone out. And we're going to go ahead and push down the sides here. I'm going to use my little wipe because that works the best. And then just kind of smooth down the edges. Does look like we got a slight bit of some sort of dust particle under the edge here. So once you've smoothed down the edges here, then we're going to go ahead and use the little UV light, and we're going to cure it for about 2 to 3 minutes. You can use your phone or you can use a battery bank like I am. Alright, so we'll go ahead and wipe it down. So these edges just don't seem to be staying down. And I think it's a cool concept, but you see that the edges they're lifting, and I've pushed them down multiple times. It just doesn't want to stay. So like I said, I think it's a cool concept, but these edges are so stiff that they just don't want to stick down. Let's go and test out the fingerprint sensor. That's a shame because the fingerprint sensor works. Yeah, fingerprint sensor works great. Yep. Let's test out the S Pen. Yep, S Pen works fine. There's a little bit of a resistance because of the type of screen protector it is, but S Pen works just fine. Touch sensitivity working perfectly. No issues there. Let's see about the case. So in the case, it seems that there is a small gap at the top and the bottom, which is okay. It comes right up to the edge here on the case, but like I said, again, the sides are already lifted, so it's kind of pointless. Installation, very easy, and there's no bubbles, so that's definitely a plus. But for those edges lifting, once the edges are lifted, it's just going to keep coming up. So I definitely would pass on this screen protector. So I did have another tempered glass screen protector here made by LK. Now the interesting thing is, when I went to the installation video, it was exactly the same video as the EGV one. So, and look, it looks exactly the same. So I'm not going to even waste time. We already know how that installation went, and we know how this one's going to go too, and how good the screen protector is. So I'm going to go ahead and pass over this one. And then here we have amFilm's tempered glass screen protector. This one uses adhesive. So we have 3 little boxes here. Here we have a metal weight. We have 2 vials of adhesive. We have some side pads to absorb all the adhesive that doesn't stay within the screen protector. We have a little level. We have a little lowering tool. Here we have our UV LED. We have a micro USB cable. Here we have our accessory packet, installation guide, 2 screen protectors, and our installation tray. Okay, so first what we want to do is take a couple of these pads. We're going to be putting them underneath the phone here so it doesn't move around a lot. So we'll place one underneath the camera and then one on the bottom here. You don't have to worry about placement. It doesn't have to be perfect, just in the general area. Then we'll take our tray here. Notice at the bottom here it says bottom, and at the top it says top. So we're going to put the top towards our camera, and we'll just press that onto the top of our phone here. Make sure that the little nubs are touching the tops of your phone. Make sure that the sides of the tray are touching the phone in case a leak occurs. Okay, next you're going to want to take your speaker grill stickers. We'll go ahead and peel one of those off. And then we'll go ahead and put that right in the top here. Go ahead and firmly press that into place. Try to use like your fingernail or something to press it down. Okay. We'll just wipe off that part here. Okay, now we're going to take our little slider here. We'll slide this into place just like so. Make sure it moves easily. And we also get this little level here, so you can probably put this on your phone or wherever you're working to make sure that wherever you're working is really level, because once you put the adhesive on the screen, the adhesive is going to flow towards whichever way the little bubble on the level is going. So just try to make sure you're working on as level as a surface as you can. Go ahead and take out your screen protector. We're not going to do anything with it yet. Make sure there's no dust on your screen here. Then we're going to go ahead and take our adhesive vial. We'll undo the top orange cap. Then we're going to turn it upside down in the middle of the screen and undo the black cap so it releases all of the liquid. Okay. All of the liquid is out. We'll go ahead and replace the cap so it doesn't get everywhere. Go ahead and move the little bubble if it's trying to escape. Kind of get it in the middle. You want it in between these two pads here as much as you can. We'll go ahead and get our screen protector. We'll peel off the underside. Don't touch the underside. And we'll go ahead and put in the top towards our camera and then kind of release and let it rest on this orange thing here. Again, make sure you place the bubble directly in the center as much as you can. And then we'll slowly release the orange lever. Letting the screen protector down. It might take a couple minutes, but we need to make sure that the adhesive covers the whole screen protector, especially in the corners. While this is working, we're going to go ahead and take that metal cylinder and place it where the fingerprints sensor is going to be, which is indicated by this little sticker right here. And we'll continue to let the adhesive reach all of the corners of the screen. Okay, so it looks like the adhesive has totally covered the whole screen protector. So now we're going to go ahead and plug in our little UV lamp. I'm using a power bank here. You can use pretty much whatever you want. You can plug it into your phone or pretty much anything that'll power it. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on for 15 seconds at the top, 15 seconds in the middle, and 15 seconds at the bottom. We'll go ahead and push in the power button. Okay, and then we'll do it for 15 seconds in the middle, and then 15 seconds at the bottom. Okay, then once that's up, we're going to go ahead and remove the cylinder, and we'll cure for an additional 30 seconds. Then we're going to go ahead and cure 60 seconds each section again.
1 minute, starting now.
Cure for another 60 seconds. Just so you know that each press of this button, it has a timer for 60 seconds. So when you do the 15 seconds and 30 seconds, you just have to count it out yourself. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to very carefully push out our phone because we don't want the protector to lift if the adhesive leaked out and got stuck to the screen protector. So be very careful. And then we'll go ahead and take an alcohol wipe and we'll go ahead and wipe up any of the edges that may have gotten some excess adhesive, like the edge here. It seems to have a little bit there, so we'll just go ahead and wipe that down. So I do see on the edge here, it kind of doesn't have some adhesive. Let's see if we can show it. Like right here at the very edge, it kind of doesn't have any adhesive. So it may lift over time, but for the time being, it seems to be okay. It's a little bit that leaked out on the edge here. The whole screen, like, it looks beautiful. Installation, this is the best installation that I've done for all of these screen protectors. It came with everything we needed to protect our speaker grill. Nothing got into our buttons over here. So yeah, so far so good. We'll go ahead and take off the fingerprint sensor tab here. All right, so let's go ahead and try out our fingerprint. Flawless so far. Now I have not re-registered. They do recommend that you do re-register your fingerprints, but if they're working, I really don't see a point. Let's do it again. So we may want to do it. It seemed to, yeah, it works a little bit. We'll go ahead and redo our fingerprints just to be sure. We're all done with that. Let's go ahead and test it out. Fingerprints working great now that I've redone my fingerprints. Perfect. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and try out our S Pen. Very nice. Very little resistance because it is glass. Seems to be working perfectly fine. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay. As you can see, there's a little cutout for your selfie camera, so you don't have to worry about that being blocked. Let's go ahead and try out our case. Okay. So it looks like it almost comes up to the edge of the case here. There's just a little bit of, just a tiniest bit of gap, which you would want, so it'll be case friendly. There is a good amount of gap on the top here by the camera, and then it looks like it comes right up to the case in the bottom here. So we really shouldn't have to worry too much about lifting. Seems to be doing pretty well right now with the case that I have on right now. Of course, it's going to differ from the case that you're going to use, but for the most part, it should be case friendly for you. Nice and smooth. Feels just like you were using your own glass screen on the phone itself. Fingerprints working great. Touch is working great. No touch issues here. Everything's working. S Pen works great. So far, I think this is going to be the best tempered glass screen protector you're going to want to buy for your brand new Galaxy S21 Ultra so far. This gets a double thumbs up. I really like this screen protector so far. Everything seems to be working. Nothing seems to be lifting. So this should give you the best looking protection yet. So if you guys made it this far with me, thank you guys so much for all your support. Like I said, I do this for you guys so you don't have to waste your time and money. I'll waste mine instead. All I ask is you please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. And let me know in the comments if you guys liked the video and you want me to keep doing this for future Galaxy releases. Again, I will be putting links to all of these screen protectors in the description in case you guys want to pick it up yourself. And if you guys like me and you want to support my channel, please use those links because it helps me keep purchasing products to do reviews for you guys. Thank you all again for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. If you guys did like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell to let you guys know when I put out new videos. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.